Hello guys, it's Pajabol here and welcome to my YouTube channel. This will be my first video of a small mini-series that I wanted to do. And as some of you might know, I just broke the all-time MMR record for Gwent last season, and I wanted to do a couple of deck guides presenting how to play decks that I used to break the record with. And we're starting with Alchemy because I think it's maybe the coolest out of the 4 decks I used. And it didn't really get nerfed in any way this patch. Like Ale of the Ancestors got a nerf, but it gets compensated by the Sage buff, so the deck basically stays the same as it was. So let's start with a short review of like all the cards in the deck. Obviously, the main powerhouse is those 4 artifacts. This is what the deck relies on. You have Ale of the Ancestors, which you can combine with Froths from Mushi Truffle and Wimvandras, and also Ales and Froth from hand. Very strong card, can play for insane carryover. Probably the best card in this deck. Like, I would say it's better than Getty, which is another amazing card for this deck. Obviously spawns 2 alchemies and a preacher. You can use it with other preachers from Mushi or from hand or from Freya's. Very, very strong card. Trolde is actually just some removal for the deck. Gives you some control options with Draco Turtle and Wimvandras. So if you're against a deck that has a lot of engines, you may be able to answer some of them with this card, which can be really useful sometimes. It's also just a good value card on Draco Turtle, so yeah, pretty good addition to the deck. Mushi is just another very, very strong location, especially combined with Ale of the Ancestors infusions. It's often the main Gwent target in this deck. Very strong card. Draco Turtle is here for the Trolde synergy. You can also utilize your leader on it with Marjoms or the Marjom from the Gedinef. But the main synergy is the Trolde here. As you get a lot of points for dueling with this card. Or for clashing, I guess. Then we have Crow Mother, a great carryover card. You can discard her with Daran or Mask of Ouroboros, round 1. Very, very strong carryover card. I decided to include a Wolfsbane in this list. I didn't play it at the beginning, but it's just a nice, like a soft Tall Punish card that also is an alchemy, so it synergizes with your preachers really well. It's basically like Alchemy's Curse of Corruption, you could say. Just a Tall Punish, basically. Sometimes you can kill something using Wolfsbane with your leader, if you really have to. But usually you just use it as like a Tall Punish, basically. Then we have Sage, great tutor. I don't really understand why this card got buffed. I'm gonna be honest, this card was played in a lot of decks before. Now it's gonna see even more play. And it basically makes the Ale nerf redundant because you didn't lose any provisions since you always played the Ale with Avalak in basically every deck that played Ale anyway. But yeah, very strong tutor for this deck as our best cards are all artifacts. Amazing card. Pride is kind of just a value card here. You don't really have a way to get Rain in this deck. You just use it to res an Ale or Froth or Rhizome to set up your Crowclan Druid. But it's really good points, especially with the infusions from the Ale of the Ancestors and the Preachers. Hermione is another tutor for the Ale, as Ale is an alchemy. But also you can just tutor a Decoction or a Wolfsbane when you need it, or just a Freya or Ale for value or Froth. Then we have Decoction, just another form of some soft control. Can be very useful sometimes. Daran is just to discard Crow Mother on 1 if you don't draw her. Otherwise, I mean, sometimes you can enable your Freya if it's bricked, or you could just play this card front row. You can also discard a Rhizome, for example, if you don't have any Crows for your Crowclan Druid, but you have Bride in hand, you can maybe discard the Rhizome and enable Bride into Rhizome this way. Freyas usually go on Preachers, we use them with Geddy. Sometimes you can rest the Crowclan Druid as well, or I mean, maybe if you got a good unit from Trolde, like you can get the Uncrate Warrior for 3 damage. Sometimes might be cheeky. Twin Vandra's very strong cards in this deck. You can use them on Mushi, on Trolde, or Gedinef even. Usually you will use them on Mushi just for points with the infusions, but against engine decks you often use them on Trolde just for more removal. Then we have Mahakam Ale and Golden Froth, which are mostly here just to synergize with the infusions from the Ale of the Ancestors. I prefer double Ale over double Froth because it just has more utility. You can use it as a Purify against Nilfgaard. And also sometimes it can be awkward in a short run 3 to get 3 units for the Froth, so yeah, I prefer double Ale over Froth, double Froth. Then we have a Rhizome, just a card to set up a Crowclan Druid sometimes. Yeah, double Crowclan Druid, just a very good strong card in this deck. It usually plays for minimum 8 without any synergies, but obviously with synergies with the Preachers or the Ale of the Ancestors can play for much more. Then Preachers, obviously amazing engines, don't think I have to explain that too much. And I included a Squirrel as a tech card. Especially in the Seagull season it might be very useful, but also it's good against decks like Araka's Queen that play Hivemind. Or against Madoc decks, or Flying Redanian decks, so yeah. Most of the time you will just mull this card unless it's useful. I decided to not include Seagulls even in this season. Obviously last season you wouldn't play them, but I tried a version with the Seagulls a bit this season, and this card felt really clunky in this deck. It often just makes you overswarm in a long round, because the stack swarms a lot with the Rhizome from Geddy, the Crow Mother jumping out. And another issue was that the only way to get out the Seagulls is often Trolde or Decoction. So sometimes you wouldn't even be able to get this card out in round 3 out of your graveyard, because you just wouldn't have Trolde anymore, for example. So I don't think this card belongs to the deck, but if you really want to play it, you can replace the Squirrel obviously, or like one of the Crowclan Druids, but I would never play 2 of these, maybe one of them would be fine. So as you can see, with this deck I reached 2714 MMR last patch. And I think this deck will be really strong this patch again, especially with the resurgence of Pirates with Seagulls. This deck is gonna be very good against Pirates, because you kinda just slam proactive points, you boost a lot, and you should very easily outpoint Pirates with this deck most of the time. So yeah, let's just jump into some games. I will try to share my thought process while in the game, and yeah, see how it goes. Okay, so we found a game, and it's Reckless Flurry, so it might be Witchers or just maybe a Shoop deck, or just some mid-range pile. We will see, I guess. This should be a very good matchup either way. We should just outpoint this deck pretty easily. We also got Redcoin, which is really good for Alchemy, as with this deck you often pass on 7 round 1, you don't really want to commit into round 1 usually. So yeah, I'm gonna mull the Ales, I think. They don't really have much use in this round. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have access to get our Crow Mother out in round 1, but oh well.
Get
Yeah, this will just be a Witcher deck. So you're not gonna do this usually, but we're playing against Witchers. They play double offering Olgot, and I am wondering if I should just discard my cards to play around the offerings. The problem is that if I do that, my opponent could just out-tempo me and then I'm gonna struggle to catch up. So I don't think I will do that. I think it's a bit too risky. Because we will actually struggle to make the points. Okay, I did not expect the Gutting Slash in this deck. That's good, that's better than an offering. So yeah, we're just dumping some bad cards. Opponent is leadering. I guess, I don't know, he thought he's denying Axel, but I would have to play my Rhizome in the back row to play Axel into creating Kraus. So, not the best play from my opponent, I think, but we take those. Yeah, surely my opponent doesn't have an offering if they didn't use it before, so I'm just gonna dump this fast. They still didn't use their mask, so also I have Polish voice lines because I think they're pretty good. If you guys prefer me to have English voice lines, then I could switch back to English. I usually don't play with voice lines on, but since I can, I usually have music on my streams, but I can't really have copyrighted music on YouTube, so we are going with the in-game sounds. Alright, I'm just obviously passing here, as I previously said. That's what you often do with this deck. Just play 3 bad cards and pass on 7, especially on red coin. And we're going into the next round. So Squirrel is not really useful in this matchup. I'm just gonna mulligan it. Okay, so like looking at this hand, we have Sage as a tutor for our Ale. We also want access to the Gedinef though. This card is looking potentially awkward. Although my Freya has a target with the Preacher, so I think I'm gonna mull this card. The only way to enable it right now would be like Bride into a Rhizome. Okay, we draw the Gedinef, that is really good. Now I can Sage into an Ale without any hesitation that I might miss the Gedi later. So yeah, let's see what the opponent does here. They should bleed me, they're definitely gonna lose the long run. With this deck you will often play Gedi pretty early when you get bled, because you can very easily win the long run without it, with the Ale infusions and Mushi. Okay, it's a very interesting opening play. I think I'm just gonna decoction this. I don't think I will ever get any better decoction value in this matchup, so... Okay, so my opponent is not playing a standard version of this deck. Like, Marjoram is definitely not standard. Marjoram signalizes that my opponent is playing Bride, I think, otherwise I don't see any sense in playing that card. I'm just gonna go ahead and develop my Ale. The earlier the better. If my opponent wants to use Verification on it, he has to go below 7 cards, so then I can try to get ahead. But okay, the Ale is not getting answered. I could already play Gedi, but I think I want to develop one more carryover card first. I mean, this card is just a 5, I might as well just take the high roll option to try to get more points. We get pretty decent outcome, 6 points, there was more armor to hit, so not bad. And yeah, pretty much looking to play Gedi very soon, I think, unless my opponent randomly decides to pass. I mean, now it's very tempting to try to get ahead, because this is a very slow play. Huh. I'm not sure about getting ahead, though. I mean, we could play uprights. I honestly don't hate it. We could also drop the Mushi first. Like, I still have Freya and Bright to activate the Getty. Okay, I'm gonna play Mushi now. I think this play is a bit too slow from my opponent to justify playing the Getty for now. I want to see some more commitment before I drop it. Like, yeah, my opponent is just playing Pajabol, so I think I'm actually gonna use this opportunity to get ahead now. So I will go Draco Turtle with the Trolde, duel the Mentor. We also will set up a third unit for the potential Mushi click. So yeah, we get ahead. Like, my opponent is playing very slow, so I'm gonna try to save the Getty unless they start committing their good cards, like Geralt Professional or Eskel or the Witcher Trio. Don't really need the removal from Trolde in this matchup, so it's kind of just a value card here anyway. Okay, and my opponent decides to pass. I am really happy about that. We get to save the Gedinif. We get card advantage. We have carryover from these two locations. So yeah, very, very good trade for us. I guess Ale is technically not a location, but I don't know. Serves a similar purpose. Okay. So we mulled the Squirrel. It's useless here. Still didn't draw my Crow Mother, by the way. I mean, at this point we don't really want her unless we get Daran. I mean, this hand is looking pretty strong. I might keep this hand, honestly. Okay, did my opponent decide to do the infamous Alt F4 line? I think that might be the case here. Really unfortunate for him. We all succumb to the McDonald's Wi-Fi sometimes, but regardless, we were definitely winning this game. With so much carryover, card advantage, getting it still in it. And so we take those. It's gonna be a pretty easy win for our first game. Yep. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna jump into the next game then. Okay, we match Skellige again, this time Patricidal Flurry. I think I will actually do 3 games since the last game was pretty short as opponent forfeited early on. Okay, so we get red coin again, which is very good for pretty much every deck in this meta except maybe Melitele and some other NR engine decks. I will keep the Squirrel just in case it's useful. I don't really need double Cloakland Druid or double Ale, so we're gonna do that. We have Crow Mother access this round, which is lovely. So opponent could be playing Warriors, maybe. We will see. Okay, a sheep. You don't play that card in Warriors. Okay, this is Sihil. I mean, I think I just outvalue Sihil, so I don't really care too much. I'm gonna be honest. I think we just develop our carryover. I don't know, we can try to trade some cards. It might be awkward for him to keep the Wanderers in hand, maybe. I guess I could have played Decoction, but my opponent might have more engines, so I kinda want to keep it. Yeah, that's gonna be our Squirrel, this Oniromancy, obviously. Very good target. I don't know, I might pass on 7 anyway, honestly. Like, often you do prefer longer runs when defending the bleed, because then you can stack the ale infusions more. So, I'm just gonna set up a Rhizome in the graveyard and probably pass. We could trade maybe one more card if we have the tempo for it. We will see, I guess. But yeah, I'm saving the Decoction for next round, because as you can see, my opponent will have a bunch of engines, so we prefer to save the removal for another round. Okay, I mean, it would be pretty tough to make the points if I play in here, but my opponent still didn't use the mask, and I don't think they really want to pass. If they decide to randomly pass, I think I could maybe get there with leader anyways, which is fine. So the question is, do we actually want to trade one more card here? Yeah, I think I want to trade the Preacher, honestly. I kind of expect my opponent to be able to remove the Preachers pretty easily with Sihil, combining Sihil and some other damage cards, so it also sets me up for a Freya target later. Okay, there is the infamous Seagull. Alright, let's just pass here. And this is very good for us because my opponent basically wasted 6 carryover here by getting out the Seagulls this round. He still has one more Seagull left later, but that's completely fine. So yeah, again, pretty standard game plan here. We just pass round 1, we don't really commit too much. Okay, pretty weak hand, honestly. Okay, Avalak is tutoring Mushi, I think, every time. So then I don't really need this to proc the Getty. Like, I do want to keep the double doing Vandra because it's just really strong. Okay, now we get it back anyway. So we are missing one of our artifacts and the purple. Okay, I think this will be my decoction. It's like a 10-point decoction, right? Pretty sure this card will always go to 10 power, so we could also leader this in theory, but I don't think I want to do that. I mean, another idea is to just play the Getty. We could also play the Ale. Okay, maybe I will play the Ale first, just to establish it earlier. We can immediately buff Crow Mother. That's another amazing thing about Crow Mother. If your Ale, if you don't play it from Sage or Hermione, but from hand, you still have an immediate target to buff, as Crow Mother comes out when you play it. Opponent's going Sihil. Okay, I think that's a better option, to be honest. Like, this might be my Wolfsbane target later anyway, since my opponent got the Wanderers out early. We could also technically go Decoction Leader and just remove both. But I don't think I want to commit the Leader. Like, I don't think we will have problems getting out of this round. And yeah, this card can snowball more and more scared of this card of the Greatsword. So, I'm just gonna remove it. can definitely snowball a lot, especially with like a second Seagull. So worth noting, my opponent has the Naval Supremacy in the graveyard. Which might play more against him, honestly. Okay, so raising this. Okay, that is yeah, that is not the play. I think my opponent's idea is to protect this ship, I guess, but killing the Crow Mother is just not it, to say the least. Okay, this is the time where I commit Getty to defend the bleed. Just see what our opponent does. Like, my opponent probably wants to use this round, so he might want to play all his cards and then transform the Sihil. But I guess we will see. Maybe he has a different idea. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sage, Avalak Sage into Mushi here. Definitely a better card here to play. And the Trolde, especially with the beams. Let's play this front row, so overswarm, back row too much. So my opponent has a pass, but I don't think I care about that too much. I think if my opponent passes, I should win the game. They also, as I said, I think they want to transfer the Sihil, so yeah. Okay, another Abordage. Into the demon, into the, sorry, the Corsair. Is he a demon Corsair? The ranged Corsair. Sometimes forget the names. Okay, this Crow Mother is like the pretty close to dying, which would be good for us. Let's play this. Okay, this Naval Supremacy ping is actually annoying. I kind of forgot about it, honestly. And that's fine. Just buff the other Preacher. It does go pretty tall, but is COC really a better card for my opponent than just playing another bronze from Sihil, right? Is the question. Does my opponent even have like Tall Punch in the deck? Yeah, it's just gonna be another bronze. Okay, we will throw that. Naval Supremacy still has 4 procs. Okay, I was hoping this Preacher wouldn't die. That's very good for me. Now I can do this, and do I click Mushi so I get more points? I think so. My opponent will keep playing into this round, so yeah. I think I do this so I can rest the Froth. And then we could play a carryover Dwim Vandra on this Mushi. Okay, another Seagull. This boat is popping off. As you can see, we're not that scared, honestly. So can my opponent get a tall punish from transforming Sihil? I think Sihil is an 11. Yeah. Okay, I don't think my opponent can get a tall punish. I think I just boost the creature again. I think I'm gonna leader now. I think it's a good time to leader to get ahead. I mean, I'm not sure if my opponent is actually planning on transforming the Sihil or not. Maybe it was better to save the leader if they're always planning on transforming it and playing the card. But yeah, you could also just pass. In that case, it's better to use the leader to get ahead. Alright. We keep our carryover from the location of the Ale. Get card advantage. Okay, but yeah, this is like the reason I don't like double froth. Because you could struggle for units in a situation like this. We're gonna mull it here. And probably mull the Ale, I think. Because it's not a unit and I need units for my Mushi Truffle. The Hermione is decent. We missed out on Trolde and Dracotel and Bride, so it's a bit unlucky, but I think we should still be fine here. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Freya into a creature first. Okay, Crow Mother is very kind here, jumping on the back row. That makes our life much easier here. So Sihil into a ship, sure. I think I'm just gonna play Hermione to the Froth here. I could also play Daran front row so we get one more infusion, but I am worried. But this will just die to the Sihil, so I think it's better to just commit the Froth now. Okay, I actually don't go Froth, right? Because this Hermione... No, Navial Supremacy is gone. Okay, so this is fine. Yeah, because the ship didn't get damaged. Yeah. I forgot about it. Okay, so this is fine. I don't think I click. I'm gonna greed for one more proc of the Ale, one more infusion. I don't think my opponent should be able to kill the preacher here if they didn't kill it last turn. I guess this forces me to play Daran back row, but we're gonna get some heal value anyway on him, so it's kinda fine. That's actually this card. Alright, let's use this now in case my opponent kills a unit here. Again. So tear to discard the Sihil, alright. I mean, we have a tall punish with the Wolf's Bane, so we really don't care too much. And yeah, another pretty easy win. This deck is very good at outpointing decks like Sihil or any other, like, I mean, I'm not sure if you can call Sihil a control deck, sort of, maybe. But yeah, this deck is very good at outpointing decks like this. So yeah, pretty easy win by 29 points. As you can see, like, even the short run without getting a very strong, just with Mushi and the Ale infusions, which, in my opinion, is the main powerhouse of the deck. Okay, so we march into lined pockets, so potentially a Vice deck. This matchup will be more interesting, as my opponent has some engines that I will be forced to kill. That's where Trolde is gonna really shine. Fortunately, we get red coin again, which is nice. No danger of losing uneven. Usually on blue coin you don't lose uneven that often, like the tempo from discarding Crow Mother into playing an Alchemy is often fairly strong, but you could be in trouble sometimes. I would say if you get red coin abused, it's better to just accept winning uneven than slamming your cards and wasting your high golds just to lose uneven anyway. I think losing uneven is not the end of the world with this deck, because even if you get completely bled out, you will often have so much carryover from locations going into round 3 that it's gonna be fine. So yeah, I mean, again, I think I'm just gonna go for the same game plan. I am not sure if we're gonna be able to win the long run, but I think as long as my opponent doesn't play a random Azar Javet, I should be able to answer some of their engines, so I think it should be fine. I also don't really have any other choice with this hand. To be completely clear here. It's not like you can really play this hand. It has too many cards that like just cannot really be committed this round, so playing double Preacher is not amazing here, but I don't really have a better choice either. I mean, if somehow these Preachers survive, there is a chance I could maybe decoction this Brawler, try to play a bit into the round, but probably not, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, opponent gets out the Redanian. I just think playing into this is pointless. So I'm just gonna take a pass. The Squirrel is actually very good value here on Sesame or Redanian. And this hand is pretty solid. I would like access to Mushy Truffle, I guess. If anything. I might consider mulling the Bride, because without infusions from Mushy Truffle, this Bride is not worth that much, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, well, we got the Mushy Truffle, so Bride would have been better now, but I mean, it's fine. We just keep this hand, we have kind of everything I want at this point. So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna start with Hermione into we don't really have to rush with the Squirrel. It's not like my opponent is suddenly gonna proc the Sesame. I think the Sesame is always the Squirrel target here just because of its synergy with the Vice cards. Even though obviously punching Redanian would also be really strong. So my opponent seems to just be dumping some cards. Maybe hoping to just pass into a long round. I guess we will see, but that seems to be their plan so far. Okay, never mind. I think they might play. I mean, in that case, it will be a very slow bleed. So let's see what they decide. Justice into the Brawler. I'm considering killing this poison with the decoction. I don't really care about the Brawler wiping my board. I think I'm just gonna have too many points for my opponent to do that, especially with the Sesame gone. So yeah, I think I will just decoction the poison. There's a very high chance my opponent has another poison in hand. So okay, Novigrad comes down. Just gonna set up my Trolde, I think. Probably go for the long ship. I mean, my opponent might not be able to kill it, so efficiently at least. My opponent has to use Junior on this long ship, and I don't mind. Then maybe creatures will survive. Yeah, so they seem to be just spending all their coins, maybe to play like an Evelyn or a Pickpocket or something. or Casimir. Okay, I think I want to kill this Casimir, so what you can do if you want more reach on your Trolde Turtle is just buff it with your Ale of the Ancestors, so that way you get more removal reach, like in this case. I definitely want to kill this card, so we're just gonna do this for now. And then I think I will play Dream on this Trolde, because I want to be able to remove the Vice Engines if my opponent commits them. So I want to get this Trolde click again as fast as possible. We still have the 2 druids for the Geddy. My opponent still has 2 poisons in hand. Fortunately, so killing the poisons didn't achieve that much, but I think it was still the correct play anyway. Okay, I guess my opponent has to spend bank for it, so yeah. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, I think this is the time to maybe drop Gedinef. I mean, if I don't drop the Gedinef, it's getting pretty greedy at this point. My opponent also has this to use for free. So yeah. This game is definitely closer than the last 2. Like, still not sure about the outcome of this match, at the very least. Okay, my opponent decides to commit the ship and just board wipe, I guess, with the Brawler. Honestly, I don't hate this play. Makes sense to play the ship with so many spenders on the board. But unfortunately, the downside is my opponent kills the Crow Mother in the process. Okay, getting another Sesame is very good for them. Alright. Gonna do this. And I guess I will spend the Troll there to kill this Atalantia. I mean, I'm a bit worried about getting maybe too old. We shouldn't really be threatened, I guess, but I don't know, keeping the ship alive is a bit too risky, I think. I think I needed to use that Trolde to get ahead anyway, yeah. Like, this Trolde still played for 6 because of the armor value, so I don't think I mind that too much. Okay, so we have to worry about Ixora, so I really want to draw my Bride back, I think, so I can play a Rhizome. Okay, we also get a Rhizome from hand. I mean, I'm gonna keep it for now. Mull one of these. Is this the hand? I mean, Bright would have been nice, or like a Freya, but I could draw a Bricked Avalak Sage. Like, this hand kinda works, even though it's very awkward. We could just use Dwinva Andra on the Trolde, so because I don't really want to play this as my first card. I guess I could... Okay, there is another idea to go for here, which is like play this and the leader, so it's more protected from like Junior. To greed like 2 points on the Rhizome. And then keep the... But I think I might want the removal from the Trolde. I think the removal might be useful, so I'm gonna go for the standard play here. It's just safer, I think. Yes, my opponent plays the Junior. I think I'm gonna go for the leader line now. I guess my opponent could Morels, but I'm not sure my opponent plays Morels. Like, they didn't play any tribute cards so far, and Morels without King of Beggars is a bit of a weak card in my opinion. Okay, so Evelyn drops. I mean, don't really care about Evelyn too much. She's not doing anything here. They play a Spender next turn. I could try to kill it with Trolde. Let's just do this. I have a Froth in the graveyard. Oh, I actually don't. Okay. So we do this first. That's the Froth. Alright. Candle. Okay, they're boosting, which plays into my Wolfsbane, so I really don't mind. Okay, so I'm gonna Wolfsbane this and then kill the Jailer with my Trolde. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm winning, yeah. So, yeah, a bit of a closer game, but still a pretty comfortable win, I would say. The Trolde really showing why it's in the deck in this matchup. Sometimes you just really need the removal, and yeah, Trolde is just very efficient removal that also just plays for a lot of points, right? Alright, so that will be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my first proper video on this channel. I'm planning to do some more deck guides with the deck I used last season, but also with some new decks that I built this patch. We might see some serious decks, but also some meme decks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.